Hi, welcome to a session on linear equation in two variables. This being the introductory session on linear equation in two variables. Let us make ourselves clear with I made a mistake maybe in writing up. It is actually pair of linear equations, not only linear equations. We will now be learning how to solve pair of linear equations in two variables. Quite used to refer to the chapter as linear equation in two variables, so I wrote it that way, and I've used this equation being equuns. Now, what are pair of linear equation in two variables? Any linear equation in two variable will be of form which you must have learnt in the previous class. This is a linear equation in two variables, so maybe 2x plus b can be some 3y minus 5 equals 0. That means c is minus 5 here, b is 3 and a is 2. So this can be now written as this. So if this is an linear equation in two variable, and I have another linear equation like that also in two variable, this becomes a pair of linear equation in two variables, wherein a and b are not both zeros. So in that case, what are we trying to solve? We are trying to find the values of x and y. Now, when we are solving this pair of equation, this is though I am not solving them right now, I am just telling you what are we looking for. We are looking for certain values of x and y that will be the solution of these two given linear equations, but they should come true for both these linear equations given. Not that it is fitting into any one of it is true for any one of the equations. X and y value will be true for both of them. So when you get two linear equations, they can be represented or will be in the format. First one, you can say it is a1x, whatever is there in the first one you can name them as all a1, and the second one will be then a2x and then b2y plus c2 equals 0. We'll first learn how to find the solution of these given linear equations graphically. Okay, before taking up a question or explaining in detail how do you find a solution graphically, that also I think you must have done in class 9. Graphically, in a plane, if you plot, first of all you have to make a table for this first equation. Suppose I'm just doing everything imaginary here without any kind of coordinates. Suppose the first equation shows that this is the line which passes by and intersects x and y here and here. You will also get a similar line for the second equation when you plot, and supposedly it passes like this and intersects the previous line given at this point. So this point of intersection, that find the coordinates of this point of intersection, this will give you some xy coordinate, that will be a solution for the two given equations. Okay, now we will work in detail on finding out how can we find the linear equations in two variable and what can be the possible outcomes of trying to, when you find a pair, trying to solve the value for x and y in this given equations. There can be three cases, possibly three cases. First is when their lines intersect, because there will be pair of linear equations, so you will be getting two lines. That means your figure might just look like one line passing herein, otherwise this one passing. The previous question which example I had drawn. So this is the point of intersection. The xy coordinate will be the solution to the given pair of equations. there can be a case where the lines don't intersect, instead they coincide. That means what? When you are drawing two lines, you will see that this is suppose one of the equations, and when you are plotting the second one, you find that is overlapping the previous one, so they coincide. This can be a second case, and the third case might be, you might come across as when the lines which you plot for the given equations become parallel. That means your figure would look somewhat like this. So they are parallel lines. So these are the three cases. Now what does this mean? When you have intersecting lines, that means these two given solutions have one unique solution. It is called one solution, so it is called unique solution, a case of unique solution. You will get only one particular value of xy that will fit into the two given equations. When you have coinciding lines, that means you can have infinitely many solutions. And when you have two parallel lines, that means they are not touching each other, they are two different equations going, they are taking their own path. That means these two equations have no solutions among themselves. No value of x and y will be true for the two given equations. Okay. Now in terms of the ratios also, you can replace and remember these two. This is an equation. I told you how the equations are represented. It is a1 x plus b1 y plus c1 equals 0, and other one is supposedly represented like this. I'm quickly writing it down. In this case, when you have an unique solution, you will see that how do I write? I'll just write it here. This is a case where a1 by a2 will not be equal to b1 by b2. Whenever you find a case where a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, that means it is a case wherein you will get one solution, that is unique solution, and graphically the two lines will intersect. When the lines coincide, you'll find a1 by a2 should be equal to b1 by b2, that equals to c1 by c2. The ratios are equal and therefore they are coinciding. Na? So you'll find a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 equals to c1 by c2. And when the lines are parallel and they don't have any solution, the case becomes a1 by a2 though might be equal to b1 by b2, but none of them will be equal to c1 by c2. These are the few preconditions or information which, if you remember, will help you in solving the equations. Now let us take up a question wherein we will try to solve them graphically. I move on to another screen for that, and I try to put up a graph sheet on it that will help me, I'll be drawing grid lines on that, and that will help us plot them. Okay, I will just be writing on this so that we can solve them as well. It says check graphically whether the pair of equations, the given equations which I will be writing here, which is given as x plus 3y equals 6 and 2x minus 3y equals 12 is consistent? If so, solve them graphically. So before solving them graphically, we'll need to have the coordinates ready for ourselves for the first and the second equation. I'll be drawing this. Let me just make this for the first equation. I name this as the first equation. So here I'm drawing, making the table, framing the table for the first equation. I'll need at least 3 values. So x is equal to, or you can say y is equal to some 6 minus x by 3. So if I am taking x as 0 and I replace x here with 0, it is 6 minus 0, that is 6, that giving me 2. If I take this as 3, so that is 1, and if I take this as 6, that will give me 0. This is the first equation table. Let me make one more for the second one. Let's make it up. This is for first, second, at least 3 of them will be helpful for us to plot it. For x, and here y is given as 12 plus 3y by 2. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh yeah, yes, I made a mistake here. Just one sec. I have to find y, so that makes it 2x minus 12 by 3. So if I am replacing x as 0, so it is minus 12 by 3, that's minus 4. I am replacing x as 3, so it is 6 minus 12 minus 6, so it is minus 2. If I replace that as 6, so it is 12 minus 12 by 0, that is 0. Now let us try plot them on the graph. As because x I can see doesn't have negative values, I'll try to plot more on the right, and to the maximum I'll need a 6. So I'll just write them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the maximum, and here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, minus 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see, we have figure which says this is minus 4 for us. Here this is 0, 0, and we will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. 1, so this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and so on. Now plot the first one. I'll using pink maybe for representing the first one. So it is 0, 2 is 1 point here. I'm making the cross marks so easily observe, you can make easy observations. Here this is 3 and 1, and then it is 6 and 0. So the first line would look like this, and the second one I'll use maybe a maroon one. So it is 0, minus 4 is this plotting, and then it is 3 minus 2 will be this, and 6 and 0 is this. So here if I draw the line for the second one, it will intersect at the point 6, 0. So the solution of this pair of given equation is 6, 0. That means when x is 6 and y is 0 is the solution for the given equation. In next few sessions we will be taking up more on graphical solution as well as arithmetical solution of pair of linear equations in two variables. Thank you.